Hello and welcome to the first of Unique's online workshops. Previously, when Unique was open, we used to have a workshop on the first Saturday of every month from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for children. And these were entirely free, everything was provided. And we've done things like making your own Christmas decorations, painting on a giant board that's in Unique currently, and they've been really fantastic. However, as Unique is currently temporarily closed due to COVID-19, we are moving all of our workshops online. And the benefit of that is that we are now able to do more than one every month. So for the coming 3 weeks, including today, we are having one workshop uploaded every week. So today is the first of that, so thank you and welcome. So what we will be doing for the first workshop is making our own little rainbows to decorate your house with. Now you can decorate your house in a range of ways with these rainbows. They're really easy to make. You can just cut them out, stick them up on your wall, or you can put a little bit of twine or string through them and make your own hanging garland decoration. We're also going to try to make some little rainbow hand flowers. So it'll be very easy and interesting. And the benefit of this is that you can use a lot of products that are already in your house. So currently I'm just using some printer paper. I have some markers and I have some coloring in pencils. So you can also use crayons, you can use paint, anything you want. To show you what we will be doing today, I have some I've previously done right behind me. So these are the rainbows that we've made previously. So these ones, I didn't have any longer string and I tried very hard to get some, but I actually ended up just using a little string from a gift bag from this. So it doesn't work very well because the string is so short, but it means that you can just sellotape or glue tack this up and just have it hanging wherever you want. It's pretty fun. Or you can just cut them out and blue tack them to any wall you want. You can also do it to your windows, which is very nice because then anyone outside can see how bright and wonderful your home is. On to how to make these. So what you need to do, very straightforward, very easy. We're going to get 3 different shaped circular objects to trace around. So I am using, this is my biggest one, I'll be drawing around this, and then I'll draw around this, which is slightly smaller, and then I will draw around this. And that will give us the shape for the first bit of our rainbow. Okay, so first we take our largest object, our bowl. We're going to put it upside down. You can put it directly in the middle of the paper, but then you waste a lot of paper. To make our first rainbow, we take our large circle, put it down on the paper, just bring this in front of the camera more. Just make sure you have enough room to trace it. You don't want to use up all your paper though, because we don't want to waste paper. And you just start tracing around it. Now tracing can be quite hard because especially if you accidentally move your bowl like I just did. If you do move what you're using, just try to match it up and keep going. But if you want to trace, best thing to do, hold down your object as tightly as you can, take your pencil and go around it. Of course, but to go around it better, try to get in as tight against the surface as possible. Perfect, so that's our first circle done. We're going to do another. Now this is a mug, and mugs are slightly more difficult to trace around. You can get an adult to help you with tracing if you're finding it difficult, but the circles don't have to be perfect. The circles are only guidelines for our rainbow. We're going to be cutting these out anyway, so you don't need to worry. So that's our second circle. Then we're just going to do one more. Another mug. Very difficult. Now, you don't have to use mugs or bowls or anything specific for these. You just need to use something that is circular shaped. So you can use lids or anything you want. But ask your parents beforehand because they'll know what you are allowed to use and what you're not allowed to use. Next thing, we're going to take our first color, which is our red. So this is very blunt because I've used this earlier. So I'm going to sharpen it. Because the sharper the pencil is, the brighter your colors are going to be. The first thing we're going to do is start going around the outside of the circle in our red. So the circle is going to go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and pink. Pink is going to be in the center. because we're then going to cut it in half. So they'll form a rainbow. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, just like that. Okay? But we have to color in the whole circle first. So each circle is going to make 2 rainbows. Now, we want to shade these. So you go harder on the outside, and the harder you go, the brighter the color is going to be. And it doesn't matter if you go outside the lines, that is entirely fine, because we're going to be cutting these out anyway. You just want to get a nice bright color. It's also easiest if you keep turning your paper as you go. Now this is only the start, because this rainbow, we're going to do some nice shading. So shading is whenever we can blend the colors together really nicely. This is our brightest bit of the red. Okay, so we want it to blend into the orange really nicely. So we're going to start coloring in the rest of the red, because we need a lot more red. But we don't need to go as hard on it, because we will blend the orange into it. But we still want the red to be nice and bright. So shading is like, I'll show you in a line. Shading is when you go really hard into really soft. You see? It just kind of blends. So that's what we're going to be trying to do with our rainbow. With this one anyway. We'll do another that's just block colors. And you can choose whichever one you want. You can do as many of these as you want, in as many different colors as you want. Because these are yours. Be as creative as you want with these. Your own wonderful rainbows. Whoa. You don't even have to use the usual colors of the rainbows. You can do these in blue and green or pink and purple. You could have a rainbow that's just one color if you want, so then it's not technically a rainbow. But it doesn't matter because they're your rainbows and they're special to you. Okay, so I need to sharpen my pencil again. There we go. I have a lot more surface area to work with now. And now I can shade better. If you're finding it difficult to shade, just try to sharpen your pencil and see if that makes it any easier. Also, if you go on the side of your pencil, it makes it less likely to break and it keeps the tip sharper too. Okay, so now we're going to start shading even lighter so the orange can blend into this really nicely. So we only want a little bit of red. So you don't have to be very neat about this because the orange will be covering a lot of this up. See, it's very, very, very light. You can make them even bigger if you want. If you want, you can make a giant rainbow. You can take the biggest circle-shaped objects in your house. But that would take a while. It would take a while for you to finish. But if you want to do it, of course, just get your parents' permission. Okay, so that's our red done. So put the red back and get out our next color. So I'm going to be using orange, because this is a traditional rainbow. Okay, so I've sharpened my orange and we're ready to go. Okay, so we're starting to get close to our next pencil line. So before I finish the orange, I'm going to need to rub that out. Now you can keep it in if you want, but if you take it out, it makes it look a little bit more like a traditional rainbow. Okay, so before I shade the orange, I'm just going to get my rubber, because remember, these pencil lines are only guidelines, but if you want to keep them in, you absolutely can. Now, you don't have to be very precise with how you're coloring these, because they do blend very nicely together. And we'll have a lot of rainbows, so don't worry so much about the details. Just have a good time and just do what you want. Just be creative. That's the whole point. And I just want to shade into the red a little bit more. Again, doesn't matter if you go over the lines, don't worry at all. We're just blending. Just trying to get things nice and clean. So we're gonna get ready for the yellow next. Okay. So orange away. And on to our next color, yellow. So again, we're going to go really, really, really hard. Oh, I love this bright yellow so much. So nice and just like sunshine. Lovely. Okay, so now we gotta rub our next circle out before we get too close with our color. Now, the only thing about these trace lines is that they can be quite difficult to color over, because whenever you're drawing on something with pencil, the pencil pushes a line into the paper. So when you're trying to color over that, the color doesn't fill up the line unless you put extra force on it. So when we rub this out, we're just going to have to put a little extra bit of force on top of it, on top of where that wee line is. Okay, so we've finished our green. Now we're on to our blue, and we love blue here. So darker, see how dark that is? So then we're going to shade it up into the green. just very lightly, and brush it over some of your green strokes so it looks like there's no white at all, or very little white anyway. Okay, so then we're going to put our blue back, move on to our purple. So remember, if you're shading, you want to go darker and then lighter. Darker, and then fade it into the blue just a little. Now it doesn't matter if these are not exact circles because you won't really notice whenever they're rainbows. Okay, so we're almost finished with the purple. So you want to just do a little bit more really light shading around the edges. And then get ready for our pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors. So I'm very excited for this bit. So with the pink, I prefer to just do it one block color. I know we've been shading the rest, but because there's so little pink and because it's the end color of the rainbow, I like it to be a bit brighter. But you can shade it if you want. It's just whatever you want to do. Wonderful. So now I'm just going to clean up a couple of my lines because I just want this to be a little bit neater. So now we have completed our first rainbow. So what we're going to do next, you need scissors for. So maybe get an adult to help you with this bit, unless you're very comfortable and very confident and safe with scissors. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut around the shape, and then we're going to cut in the circle. Just cut. Do this on a flat surface. So we're just going to cut, and then we're going to cut. Remember, always cut away from yourself, because then if you drop the scissors, or if you cut a little bit too far, you're not going to injure yourself. So we're just going to keep cutting around the shape of the circle. Now cutting around the shape of the circle, it's easier to do if you make smaller cuts. If I make big cuts, then my lines are going to be straight because the scissors are straight. If I make small cuts, the lines are still going to be straight, but because there are less of them, it'll look much more round because we're constantly changing the angle. Now it's easier as well if you slightly turn the paper as you cut. Again, I would recommend getting an adult to help you with this, but if you're doing this yourself, make sure you're going slow and careful, just so you don't injure yourself. Last little bit. Now I just want to clean up this little edge really quick. Don't leave any paper lying around. Make sure you clean up and help your parents out. So next thing we do, we've cut out our circle. So we're going to fold it in half, okay? Just take it, bend it, try to get it to match up. It doesn't have to be even, but the more even it is, the more it's going to look like a rainbow. So, and then you just press down on the fold. So keep this hand still and just press down nice and slow. Okay, and then what we're going to do, open it up, and you see this line from where we folded it, just here? We're going to cut that out, and then it's going to look like a rainbow. So again, get an adult to help you with this bit. Remember to cut away from you. So we're just going to cut. It doesn't have to be exactly on the line, just as close to the line as you can get it. Remember, cut away from yourself. And last little bit. And now we have our rainbow. We have two rainbows. See? Rainbow 1, rainbow 2. Just like over here. Two big rainbows. Gorgeous. Now these are shaded rainbows, so they look a little bit less coloured, but it means they fade together. Now we have our lovely rainbows, and these are going to be our sky. So if you put these in your window, you could put them at the top. They'd be lovely. And then what we're going to make next are little rainbow hand flowers, because we love rainbows. Rainbows are so bright and fun. And you don't have to use any specific colours. We're going to start tracing our hands. So your hand is going to be the flower of the plant, and then we're going to have a stem coming out here. So it's difficult to visualize, but here. Start with tracing your hand, go along the outside. It's maybe a bit easier if you go wider on it. Don't put too much force on it, because it's not the same as the bowls. Because our hands have lots of different shapes in them. It can be difficult if you stick really hard to your hands to get the right shape. So go a bit looser. Okay, so it's a little bit wobbly as a handprint, but that's fine. Because if you want to clean it up, for example this, you can just rub out the bumpy bit. Draw a much neater line. So it's still a little bit bumpy, but that's fine. Hands are bumpy. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a bit of fun. So the hand is going to be a rainbow. Okay, and we're going to have a nice long stem coming out here, because these are plant flowers. You see what I mean? That's the stem. It's not the exact stem. I'll fix the stem before we get there. We're going to start with our red. So try to follow the shape of your fingers. Again, nothing here has to be perfect. It's just a little bit of fun to brighten up your home, or to give as a gift if you want. When you're happy with how much red you've got on the first finger, move on to the next. Okay, and the next, I love red. It's a lovely bright color, isn't it? Especially in the rainbow. Now, if you're having difficulty tracing your hands, you can definitely get an adult to help you. Because we're a little older, so our hands are a little bit easier to control. Okay, so I'm happy with how much red I've got. So next I'm going to move on to my orange. So we're going to do the same thing. Just color, 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 color. I'm going to do a little bit more for my orange. Color. We want the colors to kind of meet. So because my orange ends there, I'm going to end it here. Same for this finger. So there will be a lot of orange on these fingers. That's fine. Because again, these are your lovely little hands. No one else's, so you can do just what you want. Make them as pretty, as bright as you want. So I've done a little bit too much orange on this, but it's fine, because we can change it. Next we go on to our yellow. It doesn't matter if you go outside of your box, because we'll be cutting these out anyway. So now we're starting to see these meeting. So I'm just going to do a little bit of yellow here. going to be hard to do with the thumb, but don't worry about it, because all the colors will meet. Maybe have a bit more green. And again, it's fine if the colors are blurred into each other. It's probably easiest to use pencil. If you want to blend your colors, it's probably easiest to use coloring in pencil or crayon or maybe some paint. Markers are harder to blend with because markers are block colors. You can blend with markers, but it's just a bit easier with pencils. Okay, so we're almost finished with our green. I'm just going to do a little bit more. You know what? Can you ever have enough green? It's fine if it looks a little messy. Please don't worry about it. They're all gorgeous. And you're all very talented. So that's our green. We're going to go to our blue. So, your hand flower. It's probably better if you do a slightly longer stem than I did. But anything's good. We're just doing our own flowers. So it's maybe best if you leave it to dry for a little. If you use marker or paint, make sure you leave it to dry before you cut it out. So, remember, cut away from you. We'll start with the stem. Remember, you gotta cut away from you, so turn your page if you're gonna start cutting towards yourself. And if it isn't perfect, you can just color over the top of it anyway, so don't worry. Just always make sure you cut away from yourself. Now, hands are very difficult to cut out and they can take a little while, so get an adult's help if you need it. Absolutely. I would definitely recommend getting someone older than you to cut this. There we go. Now we have our own little hand flower. It's a very big hand flower. So you can either get blue tack or sellotape to stick these up. Take a bit longer piece of sellotape than you need, cut it, and then instead of placing it down on something, you're going to fold it back in on itself. So it makes a little tube. And this is double-sided sellotape. So then you can just stick this on the back. And you still have a sticky side. And then you just stick it wherever your parents will let you. So we have our rainbow hands and we have our little rainbows. Now you can do all of these in paints or crayons or whatever you have. You also don't have to use paper. You can use cardboard if you want. You can use toilet paper roll, anything you have. Thank you so much for taking part in Unique's ever first online workshop. We'll have another one being posted next week for 2 p.m, just like this one. Next week it'll be about Easter, so you'll be doing your own Easter bunnies and Easter eggs. So definitely join in for that one if you can. Thank you so much again, and please, if you have any photos at all of anything you create from these videos, send them to us on our links below. Thank you so much.